So a few days ago, one of the moderators for a small Apex Legends tournament has banned a team for teabagging, but it gets a lot worse, so let's take a look at the video going around as well as their live stream VOD.
Twitch, the Terra Day, appreciate you sticking around. Yo, okay, Dilly is, Crazy Penguins is disqualified. I'm not taking that at all. Oh, he went over to the dead body that they just killed and he went teabagged on the fucking death box.
Oh no, the horror. Whatever will we do? An instant disqualification, really? Over teabagging? And he made that decision in 9 seconds, by the way. You can see the timer at the top left if you go back. And as you can see here, Daft Walrus 55, one of the members of the team Crazy Penguin that got banned because of this, is pointing out that that doesn't look like an enemy. I don't know much about Apex myself, but I'm guessing that death loot box thing is supposed to be obviously a teammate's.
Absolutely not. Will not tolerate that. Literally goes in fucking out of his way to jump on a death box to teabag it. Don't think so. I have a fucking pen and pad. Yeah, so we're here to create a safe space for all gamers, everybody.
You mean a safe space for yourself. Also, it's ironic that you're talking about making a safe space for all gamers, yet you banned the perpetrator, the victim, and the innocent third player all at the same time. So the majority of this debacle was apparently taking place during the last match of this tournament. And from that point forward, this guy was he was so conflicted about how to handle this egregious crime against humanity. And it seems like he decided on this. And remember, this is just over one small instance of teabagging, but take a look here.
So the idea that we're going to get another match, it's the third match, whatever. If they end up in second place, then we'll just DQ them and then we'll give it to the next team. It's just how it have to be.
That is not how it has to be at all. That's just how you want it to be. Anyway, now let's hop back to that video.
Everybody, and that kind of stuff will not be tolerated. Yes, we will not take that.
You mean you will not take that?
They're trying to say that that was his own teammate. Yeah, they're saying that he teabagged his own teammate. So it doesn't matter, folks. Like when you're in a tournament.
So he learns that he actually teabagged a teammate, not an enemy, and his decision is to double down. Teabagging is not that bad, man. Jesus Christ.
You're in a professional tournament. You can't be doing that. And something people need.
It's just not that deep. It's just teabagging. It's not like people are trying to beat each other in real life or anything. It's just teabagging. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know how many times I gotta say that. A lot, evidently.
Need to really understand. Yeah, so like you can't do that. Just like I'm telling you're going to tell me teabagging my own teammate is toxic. All right, so then this is where we're going to shut the lobby down at this point because I'm not going to get into that one because absolutely it is.
Translation. I don't have a good comeback, so I'm just going to avoid that completely. Even though this part happened when the tournament was already done, this is still pretty immature coming from him. Honestly, you probably should have gotten into that since you took on this goofy-ass position to begin with. Not that it would have helped if we're being honest.
Unfortunately, yes, disqualified because, yes, you cannot do that, folks. Sportsmanship, right?
Instant disqualification for teabagging a teammate, not even an enemy, because sportsmanship? I could understand why somebody would be led to the conclusion that teabagging is not sportsmanlike. I think that's fair enough on its own. And I could also get behind the sportsmanship argument if it was about something that more people take seriously already. But it's just teabagging. Not many people take it this seriously. And to me personally, it's just part of the experience. My advice is to just not be soft and keep it moving.
You cannot go and teabag your own teammates in any organized sports. So why would you come into an organized tournament and go and do something like that? So no, you can't.
Of course you wouldn't, because teabagging is a video game thing. You think a pro soccer player is going to go score a goal and then drop the goalie to the ground and teabag him in real life? Nobody does that. Teabagging only happens in video games. No one does it in real life.
Maybe if this was free to bragging rights tournaments, you know, as much as it's still not okay, there's nothing on the line, but we're slowly ramping up these prize pools, ramping up the professionalism in this, which is to say that we will not tolerate this kind of stuff, because if you want these bigger prize pools, we're going to be bringing in these sponsors. Do you think that they want to see you doing stuff like that? Absolutely not, because that is a reflection on their brand as well.
So I don't know much about the professional Apex Legends scene. If that's true, if that's how the brands are, then fair enough. But my stance on the severity of teabagging stays the same. It just is not that big of a deal. Plus, it seems like even worse stuff happens regularly in the pro scene anyway. One clip I've been seeing floating around on Twitter a lot is this guy for Optic Gaming who's basically calling the other team complete trash, and he even did like a jerking off motion with his hand.
So no, you cannot teabag your own teammates or anybody for that matter.
But what do you care about teammates teabagging each other? Who is affected at that point? How does that affect your safe space for all gamers?
So please do not teabag teammates in the future. Just act appropriately professional, which is to say, just be a sportsman, right? Just show up, say good game, good luck, have a good one. And then if you want to talk BS on the sides by yourselves, absolutely do whatever the hell you want on your own free time.
Yeah, but the shit talk can be part of the fun too. Of course, there is a right and a wrong way to do it, but still.
But when you're in the limelight, when you're in the spotlight, when you've got other people around, just because you can hide behind this and get to use this little thing, you're not going to do that in the real world, so don't do that.
Okay, now you're really turning it into something it's not. Good God, man, it's not that deep. It's just teabagging. Quit turning it into a bigger deal than it really is. If it affects you that much, then congratulations, because you're giving them what they want, which is you getting angry and performing worse because of it.
Yo, Dilky, appreciate you coming in here. You can call it a scam.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
Yo, I'm just going to tell you, man, I really don't... If ALG is allowing teabagging, then I'm not allowing teabagging. I'm sorry. We're looking to create a safe space for gamers, all gamers.
Isn't ALGS literally the biggest Apex tournament org? If they're fine with it, why are you still digging your heels in? I don't understand. At this point, honestly, it's a quadruple down already. This is going to end up being like a quintuple down, or maybe even a sextuple down. You got the initial claim, then he learned as a teammate, and he doubled down. Then there was a part where he left the lobby because he didn't have a comeback. I guess you could argue that's not really a triple down, but to me it looks like a triple down. And in here you've got the quadruple down.
And as a competitive hockey player, I can tell you right now, if I couldn't get away with fucking teabagging somebody on the ice, then you're damn well not going to get away with teabagging somebody in this game.
Oh my god, stop making that comparison. Nobody teabags in real life. It's a video game thing. It only happens in video games. You want to take up that same stance when it comes to killing people too? Oh, I can't kill people in real life either, so why should I be able to get away with it in a video game? You're making such a bad comparison here because, again, nobody teabags in real life.
Sorry, man, you're not going to win this one. Call me a scam if you want.
Good, because it is.
Just not going to win this fight. Let's go to the results, and there they go. Oh. And too late. So we got Crazy Penguins that came in second, unfortunately. But they are disqualified going forward. So enjoy your $5 each, my friends.
They got paid. At least I'm pretty sure they got paid, so at least there's that. Imagine banning someone for such a dumbass rule and they only end up winning $5 anyway, and you still thought about taking that away. Okay, now let's take a look at what Dilly has to say afterwards. Of course, we got our pinned tweet here. Disqualified from all tournaments because I teabagged my teammates' box. People in AOGS were teabagging each other. He continues to say, "Hi, can we not personally insult him, please? Thanks. Just thought the reason was stupid, that's all." Not many people are even understanding this. There was no rule saying anything about toxicity in general. Making up rules on the spot is not professional. Disqualifying a whole team permanently from all future tournaments for a made-up rule is a complete joke. Not even a warning or anything, just a permanent ban from all future tournaments. Teabagging my own teammate is not toxic in any way, and I'm not accepting that rule. I mean it when I say I don't actually care about the tournament itself. I just found all this very dumb, LOL. We also got Dilly saying, "That was my friend who got the clips of all this, not the actual streamer." That's interesting because in Fate Legion's apology, they claimed that it was Dilly that recorded it. We got Johnny, one of the other players in the tournament, sticking up for Dilly here. "We competed in this tournament alongside Dilly. Most of the chat was like, what the fuck, it's not that deep. Everyone just trying to have fun and the banned homies whole team." Or they banned homies whole team. Come on, bro, be more clear on your rules and don't punish his team for them having a good time. So we have Tyrell saying he has the VOD still up with chat. "The last thing sent kills me." And he said, "You're a fucking idiot, holy fuck." And then Dilly actually says, "Yep, I acted out of rage in the moment, but I felt terrible afterwards. I'm not sitting here begging to be unbanned from his tournaments. I don't give a fuck. Even if he did, I wouldn't play them. I care about the reason I was disqualified because it was a terrible, terrible reason." Have you seen the statement they put out? It's such hot garbage. Yep, I don't even think I need to comment on it. And we got Dilly memeing it here. Memeing the apology. I ain't reading all that. I'm happy for you though, or sorry that happened. Dilly Kami and Jake Sucky have broken the Electronic Arts user agreement. Yeah, I can't help but feel like that's just crap. I feel like that statement is just not going to hold up. So for the sake of argument, let's say that it was all fake. It was a planned reaction. If that was true, wouldn't he have mentioned that teabagging was like the crime of SA? Since there was that dumb Twitter thread a couple weeks ago where someone thought teabagging was the equivalent of SA. I think if it was fake the whole time, he would have definitely taken advantage of that extra rage bait. But he made no mention of that, so I think the tournament runner, I think that's just how he really thinks. Fate Legion just made an update here. Here's our official statement from the incident that happened on Friday night. A lot of misinformation going around, so this should put the record straight. ############################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################################### Twitter that goes by Dilly. Sadly, the facts of the situation have 100% been altered to suit the creator's needs for the narrative he needed to start a riot on social media. Having said this, let us get into this and go over the facts at hand. 100% altered? 100? Dilly was verbally disqualified in the moment for his unsportsmanlike conduct, but was allowed to finish the tournament and received his payout as second place finisher. I don't think he was allowed. I saw the VOD and the guy just had trouble figuring out if he should stop the match altogether or not. But sure, let's go with allowed. During the tournament, the shoutcaster/owner commented on them being disqualified for the unprofessionalism they showed. The ban at first was made in the heat of the moment, which we do apologize for, but we reviewed it after the completion of the stream and we're going to unban him so he could participate again. Again, Dilly and his team were left to play the tournament out and receive their prize winnings at the end. Dilly was never actually given a formal ban, just a heat of the moment verbal one that could have easily been retracted had Dilly appealed the ban and provided any proof whatsoever. But you guys reviewed it yourselves, look. Unfortunately, Dilly provided no such proof other than to mention in-game chat that it was a teammate. But you guys have the VOD. What you have seen on Twitter was him taking the time to go into his own broadcast, clip what he needed, fabricate content to slander our tournaments, and push it to friends to widespread instead of reporting things properly. I think it was actually Daft Walrus who did the recording. Maybe Dilly did the editing, but I don't think it matters. At the moment, I'm having a hard time understanding what exactly could have been slandered. Furthermore, the only thing we received from Dilly was an obscure message stating how terrible we are. There were multiple messages in the guy's chat, and he has a Twitter account. So no, there was not one obscure message. I wouldn't even say it's obscure. There have been multiple pretty clear messages. Having said that, we were willing to ignore the admin abuse he sent as opposed to banning him to rectify the heat of the moment commentating. I don't know if abuse is the right word, but he was mean. That's fair. He said he felt bad afterwards. Having said that, one of our members sent us links to forum pages and other social media platforms where Dilly goes on a rant about the heat of the moment decision, using friends in influential positions to post on it to make a stir. He said there were no rules in place during the tournament, but that is false as we do have rules in place. Gonna have to verify that. Having said this, we acknowledge that our rules are broad and don't speak specifically to the act itself. We are currently rewriting them so it's easier to understand and apologize for the inconvenience we have caused due to this. The ban, however, went from his unsportsmanlike conduct to his permanent ban due to his actions of trying to start a hate/slander campaign against Fate Legion. I don't think that's true. I think it was permanent right off the rip. It might be that the commentator was also in the heat of the moment and then turns out what they're saying here is actually true about undoing the ban or whatever. His friend, who is an influencer on Twitter, Jake Lucky, decided to get involved and asked everyone passive-aggressively to come to join our community Discord and speak to us on the subject. Well, if that happened, then yeah, that's a little messed up. Jake Lucky even goes so far as to drop the owner's in-game name and other social media platforms for people to send what turned into hate and death messages. Again, if that's true, that's messed up. Speaking of misinformation and facts, let us dive into them, shall we? As it stands, here is the old rating on the rules and as well as our space. We aim and strive to provide sportsmanship-based competitive gaming, which stands as a pillar of our business. So in our space description alone, it is implied that we are a space that believes in good sportsmanship, which sportsmanship is defined as fair and generous behavior or treatment of others, especially in a sports contest. But at the same time, so much worse stuff happens in pro esports already. I just saw this clip of this other guy basically acting like a complete dick. This guy from like Optic Gaming that was basically just trashing the other team. He even did a jerk-off motion with his hand. By no means in any way, shape, or form is crouching up and down repetitively on an enemy or friend any kind of sportsmanship. Well, sure, yeah, it's not sportsmanship, but no one's claiming it is. It's also not as terrible as you're trying to make it out to be still. Furthermore, it is not about the players themselves, but the viewers watching the content. Ah, yes, because the viewers were so horrified and so traumatized. As well, studies have shown that toxic behavior in gaming, such as teabagging and shooting bodies, is a contagious event that will not stop due to the fact that it has always been around, so it is here to stay. This makes it a package deal that makes the action in general toxic due to the back-end nature that it is used to demoralize players due to lack of skill. When players perform the act, they usually accompany it with negative wording to put the other player down regardless if they can hear it or not. The only thing this action does is to try and assert one's dominance over another. How is this kind of behavior condoned? Still, I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I think you guys are just making it into a bigger deal than it really is. It saddens me to see high-end influencers and gaming media outlets posting stories on this with no fact-checking at all. The spread of misinformation has gotten so bad and out of control that Jake, Lucky, and Dilly are now being attacked for being the ones to ban, when in fact it was not. Did he bring up Jake Lucky just because of that one tweet he made from that one guy that sent him a DM, basically shitting on Jake, and he thought that Jake was the one that banned Dilly and not the other guys? To clarify, Dilly and Jake Lucky have nothing to do with Fate Legion and the tournaments we organize and host. They just posted misinformation to the point that they are now seeing backlash about their own posts about us, so no, they did not have anything to do with Dilly's ban. The reason it has taken us so long to release a statement was due to the fact of the riot these two started, with the sad reality that this post was made about an hour after the tournament. So instead of taking the clips he made for Twitter and submitting it as proof, he decided to take it to social media instead to have the people fight his appeal for him. To clarify to all, we are brand new to tournament organizing, which we started about 3 months ago. We here at Fate Legion are not perfect, but strive to do our best to give a quality service within the entertainment and gaming industry. So to the accusations that we are some big tournament host currently is false. That I, the owner, or Fate Legion members have any power or authority to ban players from Apex Legends tournaments or games that are not hosted by Fate Legion is false, or that sexual assault was even thought about in the ban is false. At this point, Dilly and Jake Lucky have broken Electronic Arts user agreement in Chapter 6 Rules of Conduct, sub-point 45678 23 and 25, all for the purpose of showcasing a heated remark that was not set in stone and is proven with their finished participation within the small Fate Legion tournament in question, as well as paid out in full their earnings for the podium finish. So this paragraph, it might turn out to be true, but it makes me think of when people try to give out copyright strikes because somebody happens to use their videos, parts of their videos, even though it's fair use. It makes me think of situations like that, but they might actually have a point here. I don't know. I'm not going to say that they don't have a point. That is the reality of this situation at hand. We at Fate Legion would like to apologize to the gaming community for the disruption this has caused you. As new tournament organizers, we simply wanted to put on the best and most respectable tournaments around, but came up short in our logistics due to the excitement of being granted the opportunity to host Apex Legends private lobbies. Again, we apologize for the turmoil caused by this incident and will strive to do better in the future. Looking at the quote tweets here, they're gonna start a teabagging relief fund. This was so frustrating to read. Like, what the fuck was this, bro? It seems like some 15-year-old Redditor trying to be an internet detective. Motherfuckers lock the comments because they know they fucked up. Big yikes, the old "this is fake news" approach. Well, credit where credit is due. Some of the misinformation claims they were making in there were definitely valid to make. Replies locked. They know how bad this is as they posted it. This is actually one of the worst responses I've ever seen to an unfair and unjustified ban. Get a hold of yourself, dog. Your whole franchise is dead now all over a fun little thing because your stingy asses want to be right. He didn't attack you, and in fact he told us not to, but we did because your dumbass can't understand anything. Thank God your rep is gone. Bros really made an apology worse than Logan Paul's apology, Lamau. So I'm guessing your VOD is misinformation. Yeah, bro, okay. What an absolutely horrible official statement. Offer the most half-assed apology you can muster, then victim blame for 6 paragraphs while desperately wanting to be the victims yourself. I can't see anyone with any self-respect ever playing at one of your tourneys again. So they have a point. There was a ton of victim blaming in there. Yeah, I don't think this was a good apology either. You know what? I'll bite, Fate Legion. I'll bite on this. Broken Electronic Arts User Agreement, Chapter 6 Rules of Conduct, Subpoint 456, etc. Let's take a look here. Point 4. Interfere or disrupt another player's use of an EA service. Disrupting the normal flow of gameplay, for example, using vulgar or harassing language, being abusive, excessive shouting, spamming, flooding, or hitting the return key repeatedly. So the shoutcaster was swearing a decent amount, not like a lot, but a decent amount. Abusive? Pretty much. Excessive shouting? I don't know about it. Excessive, but shouting? Yeah. Point 5. Harass, threaten, bully, embarrass, spam, or do anything else to another player that is unwanted. So you can make an argument for bullying and threatening, because the guy kind of had a power trip. Point 6. It doesn't seem like it applies. Publish, post, upload, or distribute UGC or content that is illegal or that you don't have permission to freely distribute. Oh, there we go. The against fair use argument, basically. When people are like, oh, you're using my gameplay footage in my face, how dare you? And then everyone with a brain is just like, it's fair use. Publish, post, upload, or distribute any content that EA determines is inappropriate, blah, 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 blah. I mean, if they deem the shoutcaster's attitude as inappropriate or something like that. Engage in any other activity that significantly disturbs the peaceful, fair, and respectful gaming environment of an EA service. Bruh. I mean, I think taking up such a weird stance on teabagging is kind of a disturbance of the peaceful, fair, respectful gaming environment. And then point 25, promote, encourage, or take part in any prohibited activity described above. Well, okay, whatever, just more of the same. So yeah, definitely not much going there. They really tried to pull it's not fair use, it's copyright infringement or something like that argument. Bruh, come on, man. So today is July 21st, but I looked at Fate Legion again on Twitch, and there's this going on.
So he could participate again.
Okay, he's at the bottom of that paragraph. This has been going on for about 6.5 hours. Okay, yeah, it looks like this is just 6 hours of them literally reading the Twitter statement. Not to mention the chat here is clearly restricted. So, this was obviously handled terribly. So I can understand why someone would think teabagging is a bit unsportsmanlike, even if I don't agree with it personally. But teabagging and much worse stuff seems to happen all the time in the pro scene, with all these videos I've been seeing going around on Twitter. So I don't think most people agree with the tournament holder about teabagging being unsportsmanlike. Seems like it just doesn't matter that much. Deciding to instantly ban a whole team just because one guy teabagged someone when it supposedly wasn't mentioned in the rules before is pretty unprofessional. And I know you said that he could have appealed the ban, but I honestly just don't believe that. It just sounds like backpedaling to me, but I could be wrong. Doubling down after finding out he teabagged a teammate, of course, was even stupider. And you were talking about being more professional as you grow and pick up sponsors, but you're in a tank top, you say fuck a noticeable amount, and at one point you used a bong or something. I wouldn't bother mentioning these things if it didn't make you look hypocritical. The Crazy Penguin team earned second place in the end, and it seemed like you really wanted to take the prize anyway. Seems like that didn't happen though. Imagine getting $5 taken away just because you teabag a teammate. The apology was bad. I wouldn't be surprised if they make another one. I just took a look again at the quote retweets, or not the quote retweets, but I just saw that there were over 1,000 retweets. And when I first saw it, it was like 7. I saw it pretty early, but still. I would highly recommend dropping the teabagging is unsportsmanlike argument, because even if you firmly believe that, hardly anyone else treats it that way. At least it seems that way to me. Either way, I think your reputation is all but ruined, but I really hope you guys can learn from this, genuinely. I don't want anyone going out of their way to harass any of them. There is no point. Everything that needs to be said has been said, in my eyes. So, with all that being said, that's pretty much it. I'll come back to this again if there's another big update. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you like what you see, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.